Hi, Ernie.
$67. Reb Shimon, probably the smallest blot in all of Shas.
Yeah.
Reb Shimon Oimer, Prat, Mitame Tumas Oich. Para, Mitame Tumas Oich. A para duma. Now, we don't eat a para duma. Para duma is shechted and burnt, and then we sprinkle the ashes on people who are top. So it's not a regular korban where we would eat the meat. But, says Reb Shimon, this is his proof that an animal that is ready to be redeemed, even though if it's not actually redeemed, it's treated as if it's redeemed. Where's his proof? That a paraduma, after shchita, the meat, if a sheretz falls on it, will become tummy. Even though when you shechted it, you didn't have in mind to eat it. However, hoil v'aiselo shasa kosher. There was a time when it could have been eaten, when you shechted it, before it was a paraduma. So since as a species, this cow had the possibility of being shechted for food, then even now when it's shechted, even though now it's not shechted for food, it will be metame like food. Rab Shimon, hara niftis agabe marochta. So the marocha is the grill where they burn the animal. So after they shecht it, and it's on the grill, you can redeem it. And then once you redeem it, it can be eaten if it's not hegdish anymore. For example, let's say you find a nicer animal, says Rashi. So even though it wasn't in actuality redeemed, it's already considered as if it's redeemed because we consider it food.
So you're saying that if I find a nicer paraduma?
Yes. Even if it's on the grill already, ready to be burnt, and you shechted it. So once you burn it, you can't. But before you burn it, you can redeem it and get another one. Because there was a special mila for having the most beautiful paraduma. Alma comes here, lift an animal that's ready to be redeemed is as if it's redeemed. So Bishop Rav Yechon Lo Amar Krish Lekish, the Kaboy Lokvil Masnisen, Afil Bitmimim. Rav Yochanan didn't learn like Rish Lakish because he wanted to set up our Mishnah even for unblemished animals. El Rish Lakish, my time in Rav Yochanan. Why didn't Rish Lakish learn Rav Yochanan? Armalacha, by paying dal vehe, it says utvacho o mecharo. The gan of Shechtzer sells it. So they're comparable. Kol hecha de isa b'mechira. If the animal is capable of being sold, you would pay dal vehe. Then isa betvicha. Then if you shecht it, you'd have to pay dal vehe. Kol hecha de lesa b'mechira. If you cannot sell it for a technical reason, then lesser betvicha. Then the ganef doesn't have this rule that if you shecht it, you pay dal vehe. Now, what kind of thing can't be sold? Hani kodshim, hoylechim mezabin kodshim. If you have an unblemished animal that's been designated hegdish, you can't sell that. Lav mechira. You can't buy it. It belongs to the base of it, and it's tamim. Yes, if it got a mum, then you redeem it. It can be sold, but not if it's tamim. So less no bedin tvicha. So it doesn't work if you shechted either to pay dal vehe.
Excuse me, Ernie. Where are we holding? I'm sorry.
Ayin Zayin, Amid Beis. Because Ein Zayin Amid Aleph, we did, it took 10 seconds.
I know, I saw. Okay, so, or what are you midway or so?
Yeah, Ozdu L'Tamay. The Ozdu L'Tamay.
Thank you.
Both Rav Yochanan Reish Lakish are consistent with their known opinions regarding other things. Deitma. Hamoicher treif. A ganav steals an animal. Turns out that it's a treif animal. It's got a hole in the lung. It's missing a limb. So if you shecht it, you wouldn't be able to eat it. L'divrei Rab Shimon. According to Rab Shimon, who holds that a shchita she'ena ru'uya lachila, you would not pay dal ve'ei, still Rav Yochanan Amar Chayiv. Reish Lakish Amar Potter. Why? Walter were on Ayin Zayin, Amid Beis. Rav Yochanan Amar Chayiv, Afagav Delesa B'Tvicha, even though you don't pay dal ve'ei if you shecht it, because the shchita doesn't lie to eat it, but issa b'mechira. You don't have to have equality between mechira and tvicha. Just because you can't do one doesn't mean that the other one is removed from you. Therefore, if this ganav sells the animal, even though it's a treifa, you would pay dal ve'ei. But Reish Lakish Amar Potter, kiven de lesser b'tvicha, lesser b'mechira. Since shechting is not applicable, since it's a treifa, selling it is not applicable for dal ve'ei either. So we see Rav Yochanan Reish Lakish are consistent. Eisvei Rav Yochanan Reish Lakish. Ganav Klein. Somebody bred a sheep and a goat. So a seh, when the Torah says shor oseh, a seh is either a sheep or a goat. Both are considered seh. But a hybrid is neither. So you stole one of those hybrids, utvacha, or you stole a treifa, umachra, misham tashem arba chamisha. So Rav Yochanan has a baraisa like him, that just because you wouldn't pay if you shechted it, you're paying it if you sold it, which is his shita. My love, Reb Shimon. That means it's Rab Shimon who holds that if it's a shchita she'eina ru'uya, you don't pay dal ve'ei. Amar lo. This price is not like Rab Shimon, it's like Rabbanan, who argue with Rab Shimon and say, even if you shecht an animal that you can't eat, you would pay dal ve'ei. So, Rabbanan, the case of treifa, b'mechira isa b'zvicha lesa, why, according to Rabbanon, would you not pay dal ve'ei if you shechted it? They have no problem if it's a shchita eina ru'uya. Elamai, what are you going to say? It is Reb Shimon. So, kloim, a hybrid animal, b'tvicha isa b'mechira lesa. You're going to say that you pay dal ve'ei by tvicha, not by mechira? There's no difference between the two, according to Reb Shimon. So Tana, by a hybrid tvicha, v'uadin lemechir. It's the same for tvicha mechir. So Emil Rabbanan Nami. Tana mechir v'aviadin letvicha. So Rav Yochanan Amar Lacha Haimai. What's the case? Iyam Bishulma Rab Shimon. If we say the price is Rab Shimon, I did the Tana treifa b'chada. You talked about treifa, or selling it, or an animal that's treif. And since, according to Rab Shimon, you wouldn't pay for tvicha because it's not a shchita ru'uya, but you would pay by mechir. So Tana kloim b'chada. So he gave an example of shechting kloim. So even though there also you can pay dal ve'ei if you sell, but it's similar to treif. Because it's not considered that you shechted a set. We don't know what it is. It's a hybrid. So that, the baraisa makes sense if we say that it's the sheet of Rabbanon. Eli amrit Rabbanon. Narvinu v'nisninu. talk about both cases at the same time. Ganav kloim utreifa. If you stole a hybrid or a treifa, tavchon u'machron m'shata shemar v'chamisha. But that's not how the brisa was structured. Kasha. It's hard for Reish Lakish to understand the brisa if it's learned according to the Rabbah. So, how can you say you pay dalvei by kloim sexiv? It's a shoroseh. V'amar Rava. When it talks about which animals are kosher, sek savim v'sei easy. And zebona'ah, this teaches us a halacha throughout the Torah. Kamakam shenemar seh, eino el lahotzi sakloi. Whenever the Torah says seh, it always excludes a hybrid, that it's not considered a seh. So since by dal vehei, when a ganav steals or shecht, it says seh, the pasuk came to exclude kloim. So how can we say the brisa said you pay? Oh, sure. Oh, said the Rabbo says a kloim. So the O comes to include kloim. Does O come to include? I'll show you that it doesn't. Latanya. Sure. O kesef o eis ki valeid. Vayashi vasimim tachas imo. A shore or kesef or ez that's born, you have to wait 8 days before it can be makravit. What's the O for? Prat lekloim was a shore O kesef to exclude kloim. O ez prat lenidme, an animal that doesn't look like its father and mother. So it O is exclusionary, not inclusionary. Amar Rava, yeah, normally O is an exclusion, but it's not a general principle. Hacham in Yonah Dekra. Hacham in Yonah Dekra. Depends on the context. Hacham lagabi gneva. When we talk about a ganef who's stealing, dichsiv shor oseh, which are live animals. She'iyat hayachol otzi kloimi b'neihem. A shor or a seh will not give birth to kloim. So O will not be b'mayit, rather it's going to become to include O l'rabas kloim. But when it comes to this rule that you can't be makar of an animal till the 8th day, l'gabi kochim t'chsiv kesav ve'ez, shetayachol otzi kloimi b'neihem. Well, you can breed a kesav and ez together. So O l'mayitu. O comes to exclude, not to include. Okay. Have a good Shabbos, everybody. We'll learn tomorrow at
Shabbos.
8 o'clock.
Very good.
Here's at 7.
Shabbos.
Good Shabbos.
Shabbos, good Shabbos, everyone.
Shabbos, everybody.
Shabbos.